before the video starts, this is a big disclaimer. Um, we the game is way too early. All right, this is only like day 4, day 5 of the open beta, so please take everything you hear and see here a grain of salt. This is subject to change. This is mostly just us discussing leaders and decks with leaders and just talking about them, and kind of putting on a fun little tier list for the viewing audience. Please don't take this too seriously. We're just kind of doing this for fun, just to talk about some things, because I saw that people are having some opinions about leaders, and I was like, you know what, let's get them on here. So throughout the video, there's gonna be a various amount of people who will come in and chat about it. Not just me. There was no, obviously there was me. There was Melphis, who is a streamer who I will link down below. There's also Quan, who is one of my viewers, and there was Jonathan, who also streams on YouTube, and I think Zoop also joined in as well at the end, just for a little bit. He is also streaming on Twitch. Um, but with all of that, I shall be streaming daily and making videos daily, or as many videos as I possibly can at a certain time. And I just want to say thank y'all so much. The support has been crazy, and enjoy the video. So before I start, this is subject to change. This is my thoughts, or these are all of our thoughts. We're gonna try to collectively agree on things, so we put it in a place. So this is subject to change. This is just for right now. Right now. All right. So the first one is Aquaman. How do y'all feel about Aquaman?
I think Aquaman's very strong. I would put him personally. I think I don't know if he's quite S tier, but the thing about him, he's a little high rolly, so you have to take that into account. But he gets amazing value from getting some pretty strong creatures on the board for for his charges. I'd say between that and the steamroll capability, or I would say he's probably up there in A tier. I don't think he's S tier, but he's pretty strong. I mean, I don't know if you guys disagree.
I mean, I agree too. Someone Davey said I like Aquaman. I like Aquaman too. I think Aquaman like really fulfills like a good part of like what some decks want to do with might, or like if someone's trying to like blend into might because maybe they want tempo, maybe they want like some buffs, you know. Like Truth and Justice is a really good card with might. But I think if you're running Aquaman, like you know for a fact that if Aquaman stays alive, he's always gonna give you a like good unit, no matter what. It's like even if you're not running as many units that like maybe working like a very like action based kind of deck, Aquaman is always gonna be there for you and just give you a sea creature all the time, which is useful because it gets +1/+1, and they got some pretty big stats. I will say.
Yeah, and compare him to like Hal. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think Aquaman's easily A tier. Without the Seahorse nerf hurt him a little bit, probably knocked him out of S. But I think once people start completing their collections and start getting more packs, probably going to go up because he's probably the best control aspect in Might. And when control decks start to get fleshed out, because those are the hardest decks to get down without knowing the game, then you're just going to see him get better and better.
Yeah,
I agree. And as they continue to add more, I'm assuming they're going to add more sea creatures over time. That technically can be considered a nerf, though, because people have to remember right now the pool's small, so he has a higher chance of getting, seahorses or the whales, etc. But let's say they add, within a year, let's say they add, I don't know if they're going to 10, 15 new sea creatures, then that might be a little bit higher. Let's say their stats vary. Yeah, their stats vary, so he's going to low roll more often. So he's a very flexible, and I do agree with everyone here. He's definitely A tier. And and when we come to Hal Jordan, I want to bring back to Aquaman some of the things he does that I wish Hal did.
See, the thing with Aquaman here, and he also gets 3 attack, which is also pretty nice. Like he not only does he He summons a sea creature. He also gets attack, which is good. Yeah, Seahorse. Seahorse not as good as it was before, but I think they made the right change to Seahorse. I think Seahorse is, it's a high rolly. It's 1 out of 6. It's a dice roll if you're gonna get it or not, which I kind of like. I actually really like it. And even if you're low roll, you're still getting a good unit at the end of the day. Like, you're you're still either exhausting one of your enemy's units, or you're getting something with aura, which is really strong at the moment, or you're getting a humpback whale, which is like the ultimate defense.
Yeah, totally agree.
So yeah, definitely A tier. We might order this around. We might change it. We might come back to some stuff. Just realizing that. All right, Superman. I think we're gonna probably have some diverse takes on Superman.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
So, I've been playing a Superman deck with Superman and Doomsday. It's been really fun, but I think Superman is the epitome of B tier. Like he does his job, he does it good, but he doesn't do anything spectacular. Maybe with some more cards to come out, he's good at clearing the board, but I, I don't see him as good as Aquaman. I don't think he deserves to be in the same tier as Aquaman.
I
It's fun.
I mean, like, I honestly think he might be between A and B, like low A, high B, in my personal opinion, because like Superman is good, right? He's really good for like he's the only like considered like board clear in Might. So if you want something that's gonna clear the board, like for example, I used to run a Flash Superman deck, and you would like hit something in front of the leader with Superman to clear it, and then you would just go face with Flash, right? Um, either some decks like Superman Lex, which I think is a pretty strong deck, in my opinion. Um, but I don't like. I think I like Superman. He's definitely probably the weakest out of all the Might leaders, but he's not far behind. He's not that far behind. It's three charges, which in my opinion, like, charges take so long in this game to get, um, especially how fast the game is going. But he gets 7 attack, so he's doing something every 3 turns, which is better than what most better than some of these people out here are doing. Um, but I think I'm gonna put him at the top of B.
And it's funny that someone else is playing Doomsday. Doomsday Superman. When I first heard about the game and saw the leaders, I'm like, yeah, day one, Doomsday Superman. Because little background, I'm probably a little bit older than most of the viewers, but I grew up reading The Death of Superman. Right, it was back in when I was. So that was a big thing. Superman is my favorite DC or comic book hero. Always loved Superman, always will. And Doomsday Killing was a big event then, and yeah, so I love the fact that other people are playing it. The deck's been doing pretty decent, by the way, better than I anticipated. And I do agree with you. Superman does his job, and he does it well, and I think he belongs in B tier. It's going to be interesting. Next, I think Zod's out next month. It's going to be interesting to see where we rank General Zod.
Next one is a controversial one. Controversial one. We got Wonder Woman. Ooh, this character. I think y'all gonna hate me where I put this. I think y'all gonna hate me where I put this. Where do y'all say? I'll let y'all go first. I'll let y'all spit.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think she will get worse once the game starts getting figured out, but I think she's the best leader in the game right now. Like, every deck, especially with collections being low and everything is minion to minion focus, she buffs every minion out of almost kill range. She gets 4 attack for 2 charge. That's crazy. I don't think she should be nerfed just yet because the game's got to progress. But right now, she's easily the best leader, at least to me. I face her 9 out of 10 games.
And I think you hit the hammer on the nail, or that expression. A couple things you have to remember too. This game's young. Not everyone has a full collection yet.
Yeah, especially in open beta.
Exactly. So Wonder Woman is going to be extremely common in the low ranks until people collect their different heroes. Like right now, a free-to-play player cannot get Shazam or Green Arrow, for instance. And I think Blue Beetle is going to be a mini set too. Now, obviously, when crafting gets here, that'll be resolved. They can save up, etc. But so you're going to
Hmm.
see a lot of the free leaders at first because it's kind of like when you played Hearthstone for the first time. You're at the bad ranks. And so that, just like he said, it's going to be a very much into factor, and I think she's going to be tapering down. So people need to be careful about nerfs in general. Another thing too, you have to remember, Might does not have removal. They have to use minions, obviously, and of course the hero's defense as a resource. So people have to remember that Might is going to probably get weaker as they introduce more card draw and they introduce more removal in the game. So
Hmm.
it might seem very powerful, but it's going to taper off as one as people counter it, two as more cards are introduced. I think people think Wonder Woman is extremely strong, as she is. I don't know if we should nerf her just yet, but 2 attack for 4 is pretty powerful. If anything, all I would like them to do is maybe change it to 3. But again, we need to see data. I think she's definitely one of the best of the free beginner uh, uh, leaders. Ah, man, I would say she's probably A tier. I mean, maybe she is S tier. She right now, it's hard to say, but I think as the game matures, she's definitely going to go down a bit. That's what I think. I don't know if you agree, Shazam.
All right. Let me spit. Let me spit. I don't. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna like spoil the rest of the tier list, but I would say I think Wonder Woman is extremely overrated, right? And I think that like if they nerf her in any kind of way, like
Yeah.
they might nerf her like 3 to 3 damage, or they might nerf her charge to 3. I think even then she's still doing the same thing and she's still gonna be good, right? She's not like if Wonder Woman's bad, it feels bad, honestly, because like Wonder Woman is supposed to be this like value engine in a way, where no matter what, if your units survive an attack, she's buffing it up, which is kind of good. Which is kind of like it's good, but it's not like in my opinion. I think Wonder Woman is actually a like fair balanced card. I would like her like I think with a good nerf would be is probably taking down her health a little bit, maybe making her a 20 or 19 leader would be interesting. I don't know necessarily if you want to play with the charges and stuff like that, because like at that point she's gonna be everywhere again. Like no matter what you do, unless like you completely gut her, Wonder Woman's still gonna be everywhere. She still has value, and she still will always give value.
Yeah.
And she is tied to Might, and I think a lot of people are like 4 attack. That's crazy. I'm losing on the spot whenever she hits me for 4 every 2 turns. One, I think if you're playing this game competitively and like optimally, I don't think you're using her ability every 2 turns. Like I think it's actually a waste if you're using it every 2 turns. Like you don't like. Let's say you have like one unit on board, right? And you just press it and then you hit for 4, right? At that point, you're hitting for 4, but you're gonna hit for 4 even later. But your units are gonna be better. You're gonna have better units, so you might as well save it to then. That's why I'm like, oh, if it's 3, it's nothing's gonna change. If not, she might even get even better because you're using her ability more smart instead of just spam clicking it. So
I'll say
mhm.
one more thing about Wonder Woman. I would equate like meta right now would be kind of like the best I can what's the right word? Equated to would be Hearthstone Arena. Everyone's playing for stats, everyone's playing for board, and that's why I would put Wonder Woman as S. Once everything gets figured out, I think she can go down to B, possibly C. That one health might not be as big when people are better, people have their collections full, but right now the meta we're in, that's why I would put her above everything.
Yeah, the meta now is very, very chaotic, I would say. Not like chaotic, but like it's very much like, oh, I see good unit, I play good unit, you know? Instead of more like there's not a lot of methodicalness going on here. It's kind of just like I play unit, I do unit, you know. And another thing too is I think Wonder Woman becomes significantly worse if you start playing around her charge, right? Um, if she hits you in face for 4 damage, okay, that's fine. You know, you can heal that if you're in some factions, or health is just a resource, as they say. But if like it becomes a very interesting game if like you have a unit and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play this unit, but she's gonna have charge, so maybe I don't play that unit. And then they're like, okay, well I don't use this charge because I'm not killing a minion off, or I'm hitting like a bat cow or something like that. If they're running bat cow, and then it's like they become like a back and forth. Like, am I gonna play this unit? Are you gonna spend your charge like this? Am I gonna use my charge? It becomes a very interesting game at that point, and I don't think a lot of people are at that level yet. And I think once you get there, I think Wonder Woman really becomes worse because it doesn't become an ability you always want to use every single time. So my opinion, I think Wonder Woman, like, I think Wonder Woman might be behind Aquaman because I think Aquaman is an ability you always gonna use no matter what. Like, you always gonna use Aquaman's ability. I don't think you always want to use Wonder Woman's ability though.
I agree. I think she's behind Aquaman. It's amazing how people. I mean, they were complaining about Seahorse and all that, which I can understand. But I think he's a better leader,
Hmm.
and it's kind of like his card. I think Aquaman is better than Wonder Woman.
I agree. I agree, dude. If you make Wonder Woman 4, like no matter what you do with Wonder Woman, people are like nerf Wonder Woman, nerf that, nerf this, nerf that. You know what? Wonder Woman still gets play because one, free to play will always play Wonder Woman no matter what, and
Yep.
two, like it's Wonder Woman. Like her, like unless they change her ability completely, I think she's always getting like some kind of play if they want to like splash into Might. But my thing is that you're not splashing into Might just for Wonder Woman, in my opinion. Like she's not a I'm gonna build around her. She's more of like a, oh, I don't know what else I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run Wonder Woman, you know? So just a value tool. Anyway, I'm gonna put her behind Aquaman because that's where I believe she is. All right,
I think that's good.
all right. Next is also a controversial one. We got Batman. Hmm. Hmm. Good old Batsy. Good old Batsy. Um, I still think Batman is good, battering or not. Um, I think for now he might be top of A. He might
I
be
think he's
top of
still
A.
A tier.
Huh?
I'd say I think he's still A tier. He's still like one. He's gonna always be super popular because he's Batman. But
True.
I mean, the battering nerf definitely hurt. Definitely hurt. It
Hmm.
is sad seeing that 1 damage battering now, but he's still good. Like the gadgets are still good. I've seen a lot more people pick the tear gas one now, and getting double or triple tear gas is just so frustrating. So I would definitely keep him still at A and probably top of A.
Right. All right. Willow said that he doesn't think Batman is good now. Is crazy to me. All right.
Did he say that?
He did. He said that. He said, "Hot take. I don't think Batman is good."
I do think Batman. People have to remember one thing about Batman. Batman's really good early game. Help contest the board, get a lot of value. The free gadgets are obviously amazing. But the thing is, he's not so great later on when you have big board. You're behind, and I mean, obviously tear gas. A couple of those are great, but the 1 damage to what are you going to do against like Highfather, etc. Stuff like that. It's just not going to do anything. Yeah, he's really good at. I do think I agree with his placement. He might be behind Wonder Woman though, but I'm not going to argue. But he's just so good with the early game, and that's where he really excels. But he's
Mm-hmm.
definitely an A tier no matter what. The placement of him, I might not agree, but yeah, he's he's pretty good, and he has a lot of utility, which is great. That nerf did affect him though, but
So the nerf, like, okay, here's so Batman went from S tier to A tier. All right,
yeah,
like I still like okay. Here's where my brain goes, right? So battering got nerfed, right? But usually what battering did back then was, yes, it killed a lot of things, but also it was a good way to pop shield. It was a good way to pop
yeah,
aura. It was just, it was a good, like, if they have a keyword, I pop it with this, um it's still good. He still gets 3 attack, which is, always gonna be good. Not Wonder Woman's here of 4 attack, but he gets 3 attack. 3 attack is still good. Um, he is Batman is one of the only ways to get off consistent healing. To always keep your units or leaders alive, which I think is a big thing. I can't tell you how many times I played a deck and I literally could not kill him because I was like a few off of lethal, and he just healed all the way up.
yep.
Yep.
That's
Uh, his support cards are insane. Batwing's good, Bluebird's good, Alfred's good. Um, like there's definitely like all his cards, all his thing. Even Batmobile is insane. The Batman Recruit is really good. Um, he's good. He enables draw, for the faction, so you never run out of stuff. You never run out of stuff. Um, he just becomes less of a threat. Until you get Lucius, which you're not getting every game, but you're still getting bandages, you're still getting tear gassed, and I think grappling hook is still good. Um, in certain situations, so let's say like you can deploy something that you deployed before, but you don't have enough mana, or you have enough mana, but your hand is kind of crap. You can just grappling hook a unit, and I play it again. And not a lot of people are doing that right now, but it's insane. Especially doing it with things like Steve Trevor, so you can get more, like, way more charges. You can just keep grappling hook them back into your hand, playing them, get the charge back, and it's free. I mean, you have to pay for the unit, but it's free. You can also do this with Eugene, so you can get more lightning bolts in your deck. That's why I kind of think the best place for Shazam is Batman and not Green Arrow. You heard it from me. Because of consistent draw, you don't have to rely on mana. And anyway, we're not going to get into that right now. We'll talk about Shazam later.
He's a great hero, and a lot of free-to-play players kind of forget that they're given some, if not the best leaders in the game for free. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if the free leaders were like Joker, Poison Ivy, or Lex. People would be extremely upset. But yeah, so they're good leaders, and I think they have to be. And you saw their intent with them. They're meant to be good.
Yeah.
Obviously good.
They're meant to be good, but they're more importantly, they're meant to be flexible. And Batman is super flexible, super good. Good.
I really like his design too.
And I think that's what will keep him A tier is the fact that he is so flexible. Any other leader you could probably put Batman in, and the deck would be fine.
Yeah.
There's not a whole other leaders like that.
And one of the things is too, and this kind of goes away from all the other leaders. Like all the other leaders, like you can run them in some other strategies, right, and other kind of decks, that but they might not like really like synergize quite well. And you probably don't want to do that, like you kind of don't want to run like a firepower like Superman kind of deck, but you can run that with Batman. You can run spells with Batman. Because his units are so good, you can run almost any kind of strategy you want with Batman.
I agree.
And you can't say that for other leaders, which is why why I think he's good. Now, people are calling out nerfs for him still. They think gadgets should be bronze, and I say if gadgets are bronze, you're never playing Batman ever again.
It was a
Um,
very good point. Very good point.
if you
Very,
it literally becomes uh like, it becomes worse might, it becomes worse tyranny, like it becomes worse of everything. Um like if you're gonna make gadgets bronze, then you should make them upgraded gadgets, and then make Lucius Fox makes all the gadgets free again. And then that's what I say if you're gonna do that. But also he's actually very hard to use. Not a lot of people are using Batman correctly in his gadgets. Like it's very hard to know exactly what's like the best thing to do in a situation. So Cyborg. Ooh, Cyborg. Um so I think during the streamer beta and like the beginning of the open beta, like Cyborg was a solid like high B card. High B card, right? I think I'm gonna put Cyborg in C.
Well, I agree with that.
yeah, so do I. He does take a certain type of deck, though, to really, or certain considerations. He's very unique. Obviously, although most of the heroes that have power attack can obviously hit, but his is the only one that can technically OTK a leader potentially, right? Oh, that's a lot of what ifs though. But yeah, his ability is unique. I really like it. I do agree with C tier. Now, there's a few things though, as if you look at next month's season pass and you see the preview, you see cards there for the Blue Beetle set that target draw, meaning that draw a silver, draw a gold. So that's very, very good. So Cyborg is going to get better as there's more card draw engine added to the game. So we have to keep that in mind too. But as of now, I do agree he's a C tier.
See, like Cyborg is I personally really like his like design. It's just right now it kinda doesn't work. Because and I think the problem with that is that it costs so much resources to draw, and the decks that he wants to run Cyborg should like either they need to change his text, but like I think him having 4 charges is kind of ridiculous. In my opinion, like, but because you're not using his you shouldn't be using his thing at 4. You should be using it when it's at 7. Then you get 2 of them at like one turn, you can use it, and then the next turn you can use it again. But by that turn,
Yep.
the game should be over. In theory. Because drawing 20 cards from a 40 card deck, that's half your deck. And the game only lasts like 10 turns, maybe? 10 turns? 7 to 10 turns?
Maybe it'd be better for him to have less charges. That way he could be a little bit better at board removal, right? That might be a consideration. But it's kind of tough, right?
Yeah.
You make it too cheap.
It becomes really good.
Yeah.
But if you make it more expensive, well, even if you make it more expensive, it's not gonna do much because it feels bad that you have to use your cyborg ability to clear a unit. Like it feels really bad. Because you're like, I can't attack leaders with it. Like maybe it's like you can like they can make it so that you can draw extra cards. They can make it so that you can only target leaders or something like that. Like I am not big brain enough for like in a developer standpoint to be like how do I make Cyborg good? There's something that needs to be done, I would say. Or else maybe there's like really good cards. Like if you can target draw a lot, like you could target draw, like I was saying during my stream earlier, that like if you can like get like predicts and like predict the card you're gonna draw and then draw that card, and you can do that consistently, Cyber becomes a lot better. but like you also want charges, and 4 charges is a lot of charge to do nothing with most of the time because you want to save it. It's rough. He's in a rough spot.
I do think it's important to point out though, while he's C tier, there's very possibility there will be a cyborg deck that can be S tier. I think
Oh,
he's
Yep.
lower
true.
because he's the exact opposite of Batman. He's not flexible. You have to have a specific deck built around him. You can't just plug Cyborg into any deck and him be good. But like I in closed beta had a lot of success with Ivy Cyborg, and there's definitely something there. I don't know if I agree with the wait until 7 charges because there's plenty of times, especially with Robin, Bat Cycle, you can get him charged up pretty quick and just delete a leader if you have enough draw. But
Yeah, if
he's
you have
just
enough
not
draw and
flexible.
charges, you can most definitely do something about it. Um, but I mean, like from my collection I have now, it's
Yeah.
very rough. It's very rough. You basically need like really like rare cards that most people are not gonna get if they're free to play to really make them going. I do think that Cyborg Ivy might become a really like once all the bugs get sorted out because Poison Kiss is bug, but like once you run all the good cards in there, like like that deck becomes kind of scary. Like you get 2 plants, get that down, you get a vine going. You're drawing like four cards a turn. You know,
Yeah.
like I think a well
Yeah.
optimized deck like that could definitely do some wonders with Cyborg because you can get him charged up pretty good. Like as soon as it hits 4, like he's hitting for like a good 12. So
The only thing about that is though you have 2 leaders that can't contest the board if they get a bad draw. So it could be that's probably gonna be weak against aggro anyways. But yeah, I could see Poison Ivy and Cyborg being a thing.
yeah.
Especially like I said, tier tactics. The new blue beetle cards are going to be blue, if I remember from the preview, right?
hmm
So that's going to add more card draw. So who knows? Who knows? We'll see.
Now that I think about it, because running Batman and Cyborg together is not a bad deck at all. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
With all the right cards and everything, it's actually performs really well together. Like, it's a solid list. Um, and with that list, like Cyborg is a solid like probably like B tier, like high B tier with that list. Like he becomes a legit problem because you're getting so much draw. Cyborg, either they definitely need some love or he's kind of bad. But you could definitely still play Cyborg in some decks and have fun. He
Yeah.
might not be the best, but you can have fun with him. Um. Anyway, we have Green Arrow. We have Mr. Willow himself here at the bottom. Where do y'all say Green Arrow goes?
I think go ahead.
I'll say I'm gonna be completely biased because he's been my favorite leader. I think he's right now the best leader in the game because he's the most consistent board clearer in the game with his arrows. Like he really does have an arrow for everything.
I I agree with you. I think at first people were sleeping on him, underrating him. He doesn't have attack. He doesn't have any of that. But his arrows just generate such good potential, and also he's really good at filling out your curves. Let's say you got some bad draws.
Mhm.
Well, damn, he's really good. I think he is definitely the one of the top premier leaders at the moment. He just literally has pretty much answers for everything, and
Arrow
he's
for
really good.
everything.
This is very hard for me to evaluate, in my opinion, because I have had some success with Green Arrow, and I had some very non-successful things with Green Arrow. I like, okay, um, he's very fun. He's very fun to play. I like, the funny thing is, a lot of his cards, like that you get from his mini set, like his kind of like support package. You don't run a lot of them. You probably run Speedy. Yeah, you don't run Connor. Connor's you know, kind of there just to be there. But I either I'm not lucky, but sometimes it's not good. He does have a really big weakness in early game. Early game is going to be one of his weakness. He can still help out early game with his arrows and all, but since so much tempo is happening, your early game is a little bit hard for him. That's why you're seeing a lot of people pairing him up with like Aquaman or Wonder Woman. I personally think it's probably better for him to play with Aquaman because Aquaman can generate a unit, and units are just better, just a free unit, and also you could just have removal. In my opinion, I haven't played that list in quite some time, so I can't really say if it's super good or super okay. I do probably, I don't know. It's so hard for me to put him because like part of me wants to put him in S and be like, he's just he's super good, but a part of me is like, well, he's kind of high rolly, and like people say he has a great late game, but like he has a great late game. Like if you're both top decking, Green Arrow becomes amazing because Green Arrow will always kill the unit you place down, no matter what. But like once you get to that mid to late game thing, and you're playing against Might, and Might has all these units, and they're all like 10/10s, you're struggling. You're struggling a bit. But like if you get past that point, you can win. But if they're playing a Might deck and they're playing like consistently very well, it becomes very hard for you to do something with Green Arrow. So he does have a big weakness into the meta there, but he's also getting played a lot into the meta. I don't think he's the best leader in the game, but I think he's really good and he does really well. I don't think he deserves any nerfs or any changes. I think he should stay the way he is. Maybe change the damage on the arrows because some of the arrows do insane amount of damage. I'm looking at you still repeating arrows. All right, why do you use 10? You do 10 damage, or 12 damage sometimes. It's insane. Just might as well just get a piercing arrow at that point. I don't know. I think. Do I think he's better than Batman though? They're kind of doing different things, and they kind of have different strength and weakness. Like he's kind of the opposite of Batman, where he has a like kind of weak, like early to midish game, and then late game he kind of pops off, and then Batman kind of falls off.
Yeah, they're kind of exactly opposite. I mean, I could see why you put him at top of A tier, but he's definitely a strong leader. I'm wondering if they're going to add more arrows to the game. If they do, then technically his discover pool gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. They might not.
I'm gonna put him behind Batman.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I think the reason why I'm putting him behind Batman is because Batman has better tempo, and Green Arrow has better value.
Yeah.
But if the meta was any here's the thing. I think if you're running Green Arrow Wonder Woman or Green Arrow Aquaman, I think it's probably better that you run Batman. Because Batman gives you more things to interact with the board with, and also his units, the units you use with Batman are snowbally most of the time, and also you get card draw a lot more frequent, so you're not top decking.
And one thing about Green Arrow too, doesn't it feel bad if you got a nice gold, silver arrow and you have a front row full of aura? So
yeah. And auras are everywhere.
Yeah, Batman does a better job of getting rid of those usually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can.
Also,
there's definitely some weaknesses.
Yeah. There's also things with shield is a big problem too. And Batman can just big unit, tear gas. It's free. It's free. Green Arrow, big unit. I gotta spend a whole gold resources. My thing is that I think Green Arrow's greedy. He's good, but he's greedy because it costs resources, and you only get 2 resources in the game. So, right now, this is where my brain thinks. I think he's like right behind Batman, if not the same like plane as Batman. Um. Also, he doesn't have that many decks you want to run with him.
True.
So, but he's still
Cyborg and Green Arrow. Let's go.
Cyborg and Green Arrow. Well,
So my only argument with it though.
you could
is
do it. I mean, you shouldn't do it, but you could because arrows give you draw and give you charges. But you got to get
True.
lucky. That's the thing. You just got to get lucky. And with Batman, you don't need luck. You just get all that. All right.
What were you just gonna say? I think he was gonna say something.
Oh, you were gonna say
Yeah.
something? Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. Just my only thing why I would put Green Arrow still above Batman is the game is such minion to minion combat, and there's not hardly any board clear, especially for the collection level problem right now. We're not going to get packs. Green Arrow is the most consistent board clear in the game, and yet Shields aura that's fine, but you are going to have enough gadgets. You're going to play the good cards in tactics. You're going to play, what's the bronze that gives you a gadget?
Bluebird, the 2/3.
Bluebird. I think utility belts buff was huge for
Oh
it.
my
Being able to get any
Dude,
gadget
I think
and
that
draw
was
cards.
the patch note for me. Utility belt buff that was huge.
Right.
Dude, that's
So you're still gonna have gadgets to
Mhm.
proc the auras and stuff. And Green Arrow's gonna wipe them.
so next card we have is Batgirl.
Ooh, Batgirl.
Batgirl.
I think she's one of the. People are going to disagree with it, but I think she's really good. Maybe not so. As more deploy cards come into effect, Batgirl's it's going to be amazing. And there's so many nasty combos you can even do with her now, with like what's his name?
Sinestro.
Sinestro. You could literally do board clears with that. Yeah, she is going to be. I really love her. I haven't had much of a chance to play with her as much as I want to, because Darkseid, he's kind of bugged, but getting combos off of him is going to be a little bit difficult, believe it or not. But yeah, I think Batgirl is I think she's a great design character. I really like her a lot, and she's in blue or tactics, which has a lot of utility. I really think she's high up there, but I don't know what you guys think. I don't think she's B tier. I wouldn't put. I'm telling you, she's really good, but you guys might not agree.
So, you start the game. You start a new account. You play the game. You get Batgirl for the first time. She's D tier. I'm sorry. She's just D tier.
Oh yeah.
You start the game. She's D tier. She's garbage. You would never play her in your life, right? You get a full collection. I'm like, she might be top of B, low A. She might even be like Green Arrow tier.
Yeah,
she might even be Green Arrow tier.
Why it's hard to judge her right out of the gate. Yeah, you would never want her or craft her until you get a better collection.
I put her in B tier because B is for build around, and she's definitely someone you want to build around.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think she's B tier because I haven't had enough time to really like get. I don't have a full collection, like I said, so I don't have like tools to just like really go in there and like really experiment like and get a lot of matches with Batgirl. The notable decks with Batgirl are like you could run her with Wonder Woman or Superman. I would probably see Wonder Woman to run like a shield package kind of thing, which could be very annoying. You could also run her with like Joker or Doomsday to get like a burn kind of thing. Or you can go like a hunter route and like run like Peacemaker and like just hit face over and over again. There's different ways, and in my opinion, like probably Batgirl Lex Luthor might be the best deck in the game. It might be because that Sinestro combo is nasty. It is nasty, and if you use like Darkseid, if Darkseid's not bugged, like it's a losing situation. Like her problem is her health. She's looking at a measly 17 health. And you best believe someone's good is going to target her. They're going to prioritize her so hard. It's going to be insane. It is going to be insane. Good thing she's in tactics, which is like the best at like protecting its units, funny enough. Or its leaders. But there's so much build around and there's so much stuff you can do with Batgirl. Like, now that I think about it, she might be low A. She might be low A.
I would put her low A for sure. Yeah. And as the game matures, that's the thing about this, about any card game, but especially this one. That's why I love the leaders so much, is that she can go up and obviously or down. But I agree, brand new hero, brand new account, free to play. You have no collection. You do not craft Batgirl. You wait. She is definitely. I totally agree. Low HS. That's why I was surprised you put B, but then B makes sense if you build around. You're right.
But she is like, now that I think about it, there's so many decks you could run her. We could run her with Batman for like a gadget, like a Batwing gadget combo, like win con, like.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah, you can run it with Green Lantern. I just realized I learned this like a few days ago that you could do it on the Kaiju, and Kaiju just gets bigger.
Yep.
It just doubles its health, which is insane. She definitely needs experimentation. I don't think she's that bad. She might struggle early game, but and also if. Every time you use her ability, she's always going to get value. You might not use her ability all the time, but she's always going to get value no matter what. I think Batgirl might be, like, insane. I think maybe a month from now, we might be seeing, like, some Batgirl, like, Zod deck that's, like, destroying.
No, I'm with Malphus. If I'm going to play a game, I put money into it, and I have pretty much a full collection. I think Batgirl's great. Like, and she's so much fun. And, like he's been saying this whole time, you add more cards to a pool, they're going to get worse. Batgirl's the opposite.
More cards, bro? She gets even better, dude. Yeah. The more cards, the better. She scales, guys. Just wait, she scales. I promise you.
She might be the best leader. There's a reason why she has 17 health. The developers are scared of this leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, they put it in their post. They were like, "Yo, Batgirl, guys, is crazy. Yeah. Y'all don't see it yet. Y'all don't see it yet, but she's crazy." But yeah, Batgirl's insane. I'm putting her here right now. I think there needs to still be a little bit more experimentation with her, and I think once we find that deck, maybe once rank out, because maybe once we have stats and rank and everything, this is going straight up. Next is one of my favorite cards. One of my favorite cards that I really like a lot, which I didn't think I was gonna like a lot, but then I played it and I was like, this is fun. Black Adam. This dude. People think that this is my favorite character, by the way.
Yeah.
He has some of the best hero art. I'm gonna give him that for sure.
He looks the coolest.
He does look the coolest. He's currently my profile picture in the game.
This guy has potential.
Do I gotta spit first, or no? You're spitting. No, like I'm gonna continue. You continue.
I think he's obviously paired up excellent with Might, right? Might has a lot of big creatures, and Steve helps get the engine going, his charges. He's definitely not S tier, though, or A tier. He's very niche, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but is he C tier or is he B tier? That's the question.
Ooh, I gotta. All right. I'm gonna start talking about him. I honestly think he's B tier. I think he's B tier. I don't think he has less of an impact than Cyborg, right? Because I feel like if you play Cyborg, you kind of feel bad sometimes. Black Adam, you get charges, you feel powerful. Yes. You play that 5-power unit, you charge up, you're like, you feel the electricity throughout your body. Yeah, the Might deck with Aquaman, actually terrifying. Actually terrifying. Actually, really, really, really difficult to deal with. I found like maybe Green Arrow is like the only person that can deal with that kind of deck. But if you swarm the board with sea monsters and you have all your 5+ minions in there, you're terrified. And then he gets attacked. Like, here's the thing: you pair him up with Might. You run Lasso of Truth. You run your 5 things, and then you cry.
If he gets another 10 charges, does he get another 10 attack?
Yeah, he
So
gets 20. He gets
Wow.
20,
Yeah, but
and then he can do it again, and then he gets 30, and he keeps going and going and going.
the chance of that happening. But it will, I guarantee you, as the game matures, you'll see 20 attack power plus one day, but not right now. But yeah, I agree.
Getting 100 power Black Adam for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, there's gonna be a time. There's gonna be that one person I'm gonna post on Reddit, and it's gonna get a lot of karma of this one guy with 100
Exactly.
with 100 attack with a Black Adam. It's gonna happen. But I think for sure this card is for sure fun. He's definitely a build around. He's not as flexible as like Batgirl, but his decks are very fun to play. If you're a fan of just like big bodied people, big bodied creatures, and you play him, like I think he's fun. I don't know if he's necessarily competitive. Now that I think about it, I don't think he's necessarily competitive, right? And a competitive standpoint, you might run him with someone different, if depending on what format they use for competitive. But I think him as a leader, and if you build around him specifically, I think he can be pretty good. And I think he's kind of like he kind of smashes the meta. Like I don't think Mike can kind of catch up to the units and stuff you play with the Black Adam decks. And I also seen people like play some kind of very interesting tactic style with him being more of a closer, and him like he's always gonna get to the late game because he has that 22 health, and he's I don't know if we're gonna get a lot of consistent firepower, but they're just saying they're running control and like appetite of conquest with him and tactics and having fun with that. This card might be like Batgirl. The more cards I get put in the game, he might go up, he might go down. It depends. With the current card pool, he's pretty good. He's all right. That's why I'm putting him in B. I don't think he's Cyborg tier. Like I don't think he's like if you play him, like you gotta build around him, and then most of the time he doesn't do anything. Which I mean, it kind of happens sometimes, but I think you will if you build around him a good amount of way, you're always gonna get that 10 attack at least once. Anyone else want to say anything about Black Adam?
Yeah, my only thing is, and the only part why I would disagree, I do think he's in Cyborg tier, but he's better in Cyborg right now. Just because the meta is entirely too fast. I saw a guy put in chat, once he gets the gold turn, it's over. A lot of times, once it gets to the gold turn, the game is over. Especially with these Wonder Woman decks, these Batman decks. Black Adam on a fun scale is S. Just who doesn't love hitting people with big dudes? Like it's so much fun, and I can't wait to get Mirror to try to play some Black Adam. But if you're going to be competitive, especially right now, I don't think he could be on the same tier as Superman, because you could just plug Superman in. He's going to trade. He's going to kill minions. Black Adam, if you're not hitting, you're dying quickly, like very quickly. Yeah. And with this meta, that's my only take on him. But I agree with you when you say that the more cards, when there's like cards that are going to draw 5 minions out to the board from your deck, stuff like that.
Oh, that's going to be insane.
He's going to be insane.
I agree with both of you guys. Monkey, I agree with as well. Mid-range, non-greedy control.
As I do say, like, I do think Superman's a little bit more competitive than Black Adam. Lex Luthor's decks. Good old Lex. The smartest person in the DC universe.
I'm interested to see what you guys think. I think Lex is a very well-designed.
This is so hard.
It is hard. I think he's very unique and well-designed. I like him a lot. He is a little slow with his 4.
Yeah.
He's a
But
little slow, but I like.
Aura Rex Lex, by the way. If there's auras and you have no way to really remove it, man, that really hurts.
Hmm.
I would put him on a B. And the simple
Yeah.
fact is because one, he's a 4 charge, and two, he doesn't attack. So he doesn't net you a body to take out
Right.
necessarily. And I think he's just more of like a mid late game control-y leader. So I would sit him at B.
I agree.
I I have him be behind his best friend Superman. It's I like he's probably my favorite leader just because his ability is so cool and so interesting and so unique. Um, it is a 4 cost. I think if they made it so that you can kill your friendly recruits with 2 costs, and then you don't just get the charge anymore, you can just go back to 0. I think he becomes way more unique and way more cool. Um, the problem is that most of the decks that you're running Lex Luthor are bad. In my opinion.
This
Yo.
is my problem with Lex.
Mhm.
When he's good, I feel like I'm already gonna win the game. When he's bad, you're probably losing. Like his ability, when you can use it and it's good, you're probably just gonna win. You're already
True.
winning.
Is he a win more? But like, here's the thing.
That's what I feel.
Right now, he's kind of the variety pick of tyranny, right? He's kind of like, I need something good. I want to go into tyranny. What do? You slap in Lex. You know, he might pop off. He might not. He's not necessarily a build around at this point, but he's just kind of solid, right? That's why I kind of put him in B tier and not C tier because he's not like build around that's kind of memeish. And I do think he has a possibility of being competitive. Anyway, next up, Poison Ivy. Ooh. Ooh. This one. This one. Alright.
She's gotta be right behind Luther, right?
Right
Yeah,
behind?
I would say B. Yeah.
I would put her in B.
What?
Yeah. She's definitely better than Adam. She's so much more flexible than Adam. She can fit into so many more decks. Her plant card is one of the most annoying one of the most annoying cards to deal with in the game. It's gonna draw you probably net 2 cards off of it.
Oh wait, yeah. Well, okay. I was ranking Poison Ivy without plant.
Well, I mean, you got to rank Batman with Alfred.
Yeah. Because I never played Ivy with plant, so I wouldn't know. But like flexible is flexible the right word here? I mean, plant is good. Plant is good, but how good is plant? How good is plant?
Plant's really good if you get it early game. Really bad later on.
Yeah, I don't see Poison Ivy being that great. I kind of see Poison Ivy as like she's like Lex, but people who don't have Lex are just running Poison Ivy. Because she seems like you want to build around her, but you kind of don't because there's not enough to build around her, especially within Tyranny. I mean, there is, but it's not super good and it's super like resource heavy. You know, like you can run her with like Brainiac, or you can run her with like Mastermind, right? With all these draw cards that you can have, so your vines can kind of slowly sap away. She fills a very niche archetype in card games in general, which is very like this slow, methodical, like if we last a really, really long time, your health is gonna drain, right? It's kind of like it's like a ticking time bomb, but that takes like 20 years. I think if we're gonna buff a leader, I think Ivy needs some kind of buff. In my opinion, just probably a little bit of numbers tweak or something. Making the vines a 3/3 would be pretty interesting to see. I don't think she should get like +1/+1 to vines everywhere. That's stupid. She becomes way too good. She gets way too good, and your board is gonna be nothing but vines. And every single time you draw, you're taking like 6 damage. Um, but like right now, she seems okay. She seems bad, not like bad bad. Like not. I don't think she is bad as like as Cyborg, because at least she can run a deck and be solid in. You know. Um, Honestly, like I might put her between Black Adam and Cyborg, because like maybe higher than Black Adam, but I don't think she's quite as like flexible as Lex. Because I mean, like you run her, and I kind of feel bad by running her sometimes in some decks.
I agree. She's not. I think she could definitely use some buffs because I mean those 3/2s aren't really great
Hmm.
when you get to the mid and late game. I mean they're easy to remove by if your opponent has the board, and they might just ignore it, assuming it's in a blocker anyways, and go face. Especially because yeah, she. I like her though. I don't think she's. I agree. I think she's good spot C tier. I do think she could use a little bit, maybe a little bit of a change, rework on certain things, but I do like her. I like her design.
But
Actually, if you want to like boost at her, if you make the plants an Archemy inmate, then she'll give a huge boost. Like building those plants up will boost up a lot of the decks.
ooh, making her like a Arkham inmate. So, but I mean, like
Yeah, yeah, like
then
her
mhm.
plant that summons is an Arkham inmate.
That would be a really cool like Arkham inmate tie-in. My thing is that I think you will take out the draw tag on the card then, because Arkham inmates would be like would buff it to oblivion. But I think that's interesting though, having it being an Arkham inmate kind of thing. Mm. Might be
Yeah,
spit in there.
that.
All right, this one's some of y'all's favorite leaders. All right, next one is Doomsday.
Ooh.
Doomsday.
S tier.
S tier? Mm,
Nah, I love Doomsday. He's
I
awesome.
love it. Yeah.
Um, I think he's in B.
I can respect that.
I think he's in B. Um, the reason why I think he's in B is because I literally never played Doomsday alone.
Oh, you're missing out.
Dude, Doomsday is one of the fun cards, alright? All these like big 10 attack cards in this game are fun. Um, Doomsday does require a little bit of a workaround, not a lot, which is interesting because you want to build towards him a little bit, and then once you do, Doomsday is like I know the old school meme was that Doomsday, you have 10 attack but you don't attack anything, right? But like, you can kind of build around that, give him Batmobile, right? Lasso of Truth, Arrest, Mirror Master. You can have another really intricate thing you can do is have a lethal unit and use a lethal unit to attack the unit in front of him or in front of a leader that you want to attack with him, and then you attack with Doomsday. So he's very interesting, and he's like surprisingly flexible, kind of. I mean, I think the green side of his deck looks kind of the same throughout the entire times of his decks, but like he could run with different leaders. You can run it with Batman. You can run it with Wonder Woman. You might run him with Lex Luthor, as we were doing a little bit earlier. Like he's a little flexible. He's a little hard to get going, I will say. He's not like Superman where you just want to slap everything. He is 4 cost, so it's a little expensive, and plus, but I think he's terrifying.
Yeah, he's that threat that he's really good later in the game too. Especially you get one of the you have a turn where he attacks and let's say he kills the leader, then he's bam 2 more charges. I mean, he's terrifying. I think he B tier is probably a good spot for him. He's definitely not gonna fit in every deck, but I play Superman and Doomsday, and he's been doing pretty good for me. So both of them. And the Anarchy is really good because Anarchy has a lot of early game aggressive kind of minions that could get on board quickly, and then Might's just Might. So
Might's Might.
Yeah, so Anarchy, because Doomsday doesn't really have any synergy with his own color, if you think about it, right?
I
There's
mean,
nothing in Anarchy that complements him much, but yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
energy does have huge reach. That's kind of what Doomsday does want. Like they have a lot of face damage, right? They
Yeah.
have a lot of things that does something to a random leader, or does this to a random enemy or a leader or whatever, and that's what Doomsday wants because he really wants that leader dead. He really wants you dead, and I think like these like some optimized Doomsday's list might be scary. These burn decks that run like these Doomsday like finisher stuff. It's scary because like the thing is that like you need an answer to it. If you don't have an answer to it, you kind of die. Like you need to have like either an ore unit or something. You need like exhaust or something. Because if you don't have it, Doomsday is literally gonna hit you in the face. He's going to hit you in the face. So there might be like he might get worse later. Like he might be a D tier card later, and he might be in like an S tier card later. We don't know. I think his where he is, it's gonna fluctuate so much depending on the meta. Because the meta's gonna either gonna have more answers for him or have less answers for him. So, and right now the metas kind of don't have that much answers for him. He kind of could just run free. So he honestly right now might be A. He honestly might be A. But I'm not. No one is playing a lot of Doomsday in my like.
Yeah, so we don't have any data.
Yeah.
One combo you guys didn't mention, it's the most fun I've had playing, is if you can actually draw Bizarro and you can Bizarro
Oh.
have Doomsday, and your Doomsday is facing a Zatanna or something. It's the most fun in the game.
Let me tell you, I put Bizarro when I was theory crafting in my deck before I even could play, and Bizarro has been my MVP on so many different occasions because they sit there building. I'm like, okay, I can't get to that, but guess what? You're dead this turn, and they don't even see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bizarro is such a great card. Obviously, he's not going to go in a lot of every deck,
No.
but yeah, he's a great card.
Bizarro, mad good. Quan, did you say anything about Doomsday?
I agree with B tier. I mean, have played a lot of Doomsday, like a lot of Doomsday Superman because I love hitting people with Bizarro.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think once like true aggro gets found, once he is going to be scary. He's going to be scarier than the Flash because if you get bazookaed in the face, then that's 18 damage on turn 5.
Dude, that's killing some leaders in this game.
That's probably most of them because you've got to imagine there's either Batman's traded into you, Wonder Woman's traded into you by this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably killing something, and then he's getting 2 charges. You got 2 more turns, you might get hit with it again.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And I think one of the places you want to run with him might be Might. Next, we have Harley. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, I like Harley's S tier to me.
Harley's S tier. Harley's up here. Harley's like probably.
She's S in my opinion, but she's very good. She's a 2 charge leader that hits for 3, and then she draws cards for free literally every turn if you have no hand.
If you have no hand.
Yeah, but you could get no hands by turn 2.
She enables a lot of strategies. Like discard becomes something interesting, or adrenaline becomes something interesting with her. She's kind of like she's like the aggro card even more so than Flash. Harley is very good the deck that she's played in. She's very good. I wouldn't see she almost carries those decks. Yeah, like Shazam Harley's a thing. Yeah, because of me. I'm the one who found that. Shazam Harley, or just Harley in general, is just she is so good, but also she loses steam so fast, and she has 18 health. So
Uh,
So like the decks that you like, I don't. Well, actually, she doesn't lose steam. She just like she attacks a lot, and she has 18 health, so she kind of loses health. So you really have to try to protect her. But the decks you're running with don't really protect her that much. Um, but I do like Harley. I do think that she's really good. Um, like you said, the card draw, insane, insane. I think that's the biggest thing with her. Not even that she attacks, that just the card draw. It helps you so that you don't have just you top decking. Because top decking in this game is so bad. Like that's we didn't talk about this, but another problem with Might is that you get to a point where you have a hand and there's something you can play, and basically you're just top decking, right? Or you empty out your hand and you're top decking because you don't have a lot of card draw, a lot of card generation with Might. That's why you see it's running with so many with tactics, because tactics has a lot of card generation and a lot of draw. Harley gets rid of that. Harley just has it on her own. So very good. She's very good. I don't think she's as strong as like these other leaders are at the moment, but I think she's on par with them.
I agree. I think her spot in A's got. I don't think she's quite S tier. Maybe if you're a brand new player and don't have a limited collection, she's very strong. Kind of like how we put Batgirl's D tier if you brand new. I like her right there.
I think
you guys have already covered.
I think if you're in low, like if there was a rank mode, or let's just say MMR for right now, like if you're in low MMR and like you're going against Harley, you kind of feel bad. Like Harley just pub stomps at that like little range, I think, because I think she's just so good, and if you don't like really know how to like play the game all too well, and the person who's playing Harley knows, like she just hits you and hits you and hits you and hits you, and it feels like she's always attacking, and then like the game ends.
The thing is though with Harley too, a lot of people sleeping on is that she lets you play a lot more silver cards because you see more cards. Because when you're discarding your whole hand by turn 3 at max, I can have no hands, and when you have no hand, you're seeing at turn 3 you're at silver bronze resource. So then you can automatically start seeing your silver cards a lot more frequently, and you can play your silver cards more because you see them more because you're drawing so much more cards with her, and it's very scary. I have a very very crazy deck with her, but it's yeah it's pretty strong.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just like Harley because she allows you to be a lot more aggro, and I like playing aggro. So
we
have Joker. Joker.
This is a guy I really enjoy, and I'm gonna start playing some firepower decks. He's RNG by nature, obviously. Can't guarantee where those hits are going, but people are kind of sleeping on firepower. I think Joker. I played. Oh God, I forgot the combo of the leader I have with him, but I've been playing a little bit off stream and stuff in it. And it's a fun deck, and it could steamroll and win and clear board. I really like Joker a lot. And the more firepower support comes in, he's like all of these leaders. They're just going to only become better with time.
So I
like him a lot.
I think Joker and Harley are like side by side in one, because like Harley is so good at aggro, but like Joker is so good at control though.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
think Joker's S.
Joker.
I don't think you're quite that off.
I don't think. Well, I don't know if Joker is S because I need to play more Joker, a lot more Joker, but I think he's very draw heavy, and then I run it with Batman. I think him and Batman are a good combo. Just because like Batman generates so many good gadgets and stuff like that, and just for firepower, like firepower with Batman seems really good, really good. Or you can run it with Batgirl and Parasite twice. Like
I have a Batman Joker deck. It's pretty gas.
Yeah, I'm saying
it could literally controls the board the whole time because firepower is just too strong with Joker, and and people are sleeping on the ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist is
So free.
so free, so free. Like
Yeah.
you don't even have to run. Like, oh my god, dude, you don't have to buff it. You don't have to make sure it survives. You play ventriloquist. You play partners in crime, and you just win. You win.
Yeah, and Joker with Cyborg recruit. Yeah, because then Cyborg is hitting
Mhm.
for 2-3 damage on front row every single turn. It's
it's
pretty
so
gross.
good. It's so good.
Yeah,
I
really
think Joker might be the answer to Might.
Yeah, Joker's really good.
He
He's
is.
a good-
Yeah, like every time I see Batman and Aquaman, I'm playing Joker and Batman. I laugh because I'm with you.
I laugh because I know it's didn't
You
win.
see, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys is these Nerf stuff. That people need to sit back and realize once we get more collect, and we I don't know how many times we said that tonight. There's going to be answers to the nasty decks that everyone hates, and might. I mean, I know people hate it, but might not be as great as the game develops or as prevalent as it is now. I tell you, they're sleeping on the Joker too. Joker's a very fun leader to play. I love him.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's one of the most fun leaders too. He also gets to attack for 2, but that hardly matters. Like, if you give Joker no attack, he is still godlike. He is still godlike. And technically he has 3 charge, but it becomes a 2 charge since you have an Arkham inmate, and you should probably always have one Arkham inmate. So he uses it very often, and then you enabled so many things, like shoot randomly just as a card just becomes insane. Bazooka is just like
Yeah.
you win the game.
No, you guys are also sleeping on one of my favorite cards in art. What's it called? Anarchy. Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Deathstroke is hilarious.
Deathstroke becomes good. Well, Deathstroke is already good. Parasite is insane.
With firepower, Parasite's
Parasite
amazing.
is insane. Like Batman and Lucius Fox, yeah, upgraded battering becomes like, back to its old glory. Let's talk about Hal Jordan.
Oh man, Hal Jordan. This will be my last one, guys, because it's really late. But he's got buffed, which is great. The only thing is,
he got buffed, all right. He got buffed.
But I was gonna say I would love to see his effect instead of generating bronze, maybe buff the Green Lanterns. But there's probably wouldn't be too great. I mean, it actually would be, but there's not that many. I mean, there are Green Lantern cards, but there's not a huge amount of them yet. So
They're
I don't know.
My thing is that if you're running a Green Lantern deck, you don't want Green Lanterns. You want Hal Jordan, and you want like maybe 2 other lanterns.
Yeah.
It is very hard. Like, I didn't even know how like draw heavy this deck was until I played it with Wonder Woman, and I was realizing, or with like Batman or Batgirl, and I realized I wasn't getting any of my lanterns, and I was just winning off of the other faction package, because that's how bad Green Lanterns feel. It's something. It's something. I mean, I think Green Lanterns are cool. I like how they kind of buff each other. They do this little thing and they spend resources. My thing is that I think you want ramp or some kind of like extra resources so you could spend so you could not like fall behind in the game. But there's like they gave that all to red, and there's none of that in green, except for like 2 cards, 3 cards, maybe 4, and those cards are not the greatest. So, and even then, like honestly, you might just run Hal Jordan just because he gives you an extra bronze. You don't run him because of Green Lanterns, right? It's rough. It's rough for my boy out here. If you do 1 buff to this of this like whole thing, this leader becomes this, and this becomes very pregnant. Like Hal Jordan becomes insane.
And once they add cards that seek uh, or draw Green Lanterns out of your deck, they're going to be even more viable too.
Hmm.
So, yeah, this guy's definitely going to get better with time. But right now, unfortunately
Yeah, yeah. I would.
he's still fun to play with. I love the Green Lanterns that are in the game now.
Hmm.
Hal Jordan, the actual card, could potentially get friggin' insane. So there is that. But they definitely need some more support and help, and it'll come with time.
I think, yeah, like maybe he need like. I think it'd be cool if they make him like the Batman of Green Lanterns, right? So like you play it and you seek two of Green Lanterns, and then like you get like an attack or something like that. I don't know, something so that you can have more consistency of Green Lanterns, as well as that like, you know, you gotta make them a little bit better statted. And like you can't like you cost so much resources to make them like actual good units that you don't feel punished for like spending your resources when resources are already so minimal in the game. So, anyone else has any thoughts, Jonathan? You trying to spin on my boy Hal Jordan?
Yeah. Green Lantern, yeah, he just needs a little bit. They just need more support. I feel like because what happens is that their deck is too fair. It's not like very cheap. Like they have to pay for things.
Mm-hmm.
Since they have to always pay for things, you're always like behind resource energy. So their deck is a little too fair. I want to see in the future maybe like you just pay for them and then they trigger something and then they get a boost and stuff like that, so that way they can snowball a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think they'll get better in time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I think another thing is that like they will get better over time, of course. Like if there was like ways so that you can like like predict or like target like find these Green Lanterns in your deck, that'd be really cool. Like if there was something that'd be like, oh, all the Green Lanterns jump to the front of your deck or something like that, that'd be really cool. We gotta do Shazam now. Shazam S tier, no thoughts about it. I'm just kidding.
S tier.
I'm just kidding.
Shazam is really good.
I think I like. It's very hard for me to evaluate where he goes. As you've seen my journey to try to find the most optimal, the best decks for him, and other people have quit. Other people have not found anything. I think he's quite flexible, honestly. Like he does a lot. Um, he now has six attack, which is huge.
Yep.
I didn't think it's gonna be that big, but it feels like such a big thing. Six lightning bolts is good. You know, lightning bolts are lightning bolts. Um, it's really hard for me to know where to put him. Like right now he's in B, but like I kind of want to put him in low A. But I don't know if he's better than Superman Index or better than Lex. He might be a little bit better than Lex. Six is a lot. He is quite flexible. Like running him with Harley, like if aggro becomes like super predominant, he's the top of B. Like he might be here. I don't think he's on top of B. Like I don't think he's better than Superman. Right? I don't think he's better than Superman. In my opinion, right now. They're sitting there trying to draw our cycle cards right now. Exactly. Exactly. But he can be used as a control tool or as a closer to games. I don't think he's as bad as people are saying sometimes. Sometimes being like, yo, this character is like, you know, unbuild aroundable. You know, you can't run any good things with him. Like, we made a Harley Shazam deck and it cooked. It cooked. I'll agree with you with that. I thank you for calling me the Shazam master. I do play a lot of Shazam. I do try a lot. I noticed is that a lightning bolt is not gonna be if you just create a lightning bolt is probably not gonna be at the top of your deck. I learned this out by using Crystal Ball. If you use Shazam effect or use anything that creates lightning bolt, the top card in your deck will always still be the top card in your deck. It will not change. Unless it was already a lightning bolt, it will not change. So what you want to do most of the time is you can use a lightning bolt to draw. Like you can use You can use any effect to get a lightning bolt, do a lightning bolt, draw your card, use something else to draw, and you have another chance to get a lightning bolt. Do you want me to hop in for Zatanna part, since Zatanna is in my most played deck? Sure, Zoop. You can hop in for Zatanna if you wanted to. But I do think he's in B. I think almost every single leader you run him with, they have a better deck. But my hot take is that I think Shazam is going to be a really good tournament leader than a ladder leader, if that makes sense. Jonathan, you want to spit?
Yeah, like Shazam is definitely good. I think fairly good on his own. He's almost on par with Superman with the 7 stat. He can take out pretty much almost every silver in the game.
Yeah.
And he's pretty high in health too. Like 22 is pretty high up there. I think that's like Doomsday is 24, so he's like on par with Doomsday, so he lives a long time. So and then the lightning bolts become free. So if you hit his ability twice, you have 12 free cards that are doing 2, 4, 6, 12 times 2, 24 damage, and then for free, and you're drawing cards. So
yeah,
like I think that's pretty reasonable.
All right, we got Flash.
I haven't played enough Flash to really like. I just feel like he feels very mediocre. Also,
like you would think Flash would be like up here, 2 cost ability, gets 2 attack and flurry. You would think he would be like the top, like in A, with everyone else in A, all the good leaders in A, but I'm putting him probably at the top of C. He falls too flat, in my opinion. He's like Flash has some capability to OTK, but not with current cards. He's so fragile. He is very fragile for things for him wanting to attack, but that's why you run Iris. Iris makes him better because he becomes invincible and then he can attack anything. The thing is that with Flash, you want buffs on him and him alone, and you don't have a lot of leader buffs in the game right now.
Yeah, I think Flash is very fragile. He is a 2 charge leader, so that's always a really good thing. He could board clear a lot of like baby units, or
Yeah.
or he could board clear like decent units if he's pretty high in stats. If you could boost him, so like I don't know, like Flash is a hit and miss for me. I definitely need to play more Flash to see if, where I can find his like really good benefits.
All right, this one I could talk to all day. Zoop, get in here. Are you in here, Zoop?
Oh, is Zatanna?
It's Zatanna, the last one. Zoop. Oh, he got in here that quickly.
All right. So if you want my opinion, I think Zatanna has to go in A tier. And the reason why I say A tier is because she's just the green version of Green Arrow. Or like the energy version of Green Arrow, where you can she's a 2-cost charge leader who doesn't have an attack, but she seeks a spell, which is the Green Arrow's replacement for the trick arrows, and it helps you fill out your curve. Obviously, Green Arrow is more consistent in the fact that he always gives you a bronze, silver, and gold, so you can just pick out whichever one you need at whatever given situation. Zatanna doesn't have that consistency, but she also gives you the option of giving you free spells, which in a lot of situations is very, very useful. So she's a little bit more flexible, but not as consistent as Green Arrow.
Y'all want to hear a hot take, guys? Y'all want to hear a really hot take? And I think this is the hottest take of this whole entire stream, and I was waiting for it. I didn't plan her for to be last, but this is a hot take. I think Zatanna is the best leader in the game. I think she's the best leader in the game. Now hold on, before y'all go and y'all say, wait, what? Huh? Zatanna doesn't do anything. Y'all gotta realize spells are insanely good. Constantine,
Those are so good.
insanely good. Geo,
Mhm.
Geo smoke in the mirrors, insanely good. Her with Firestorm, insane. Like, dude, you.
Yeah, she does everything. She does everything. She can give you recruits, she can
Mhm.
buff your recruits, she can give your recruits aura, she can heal your leaders, your recruits, she can give your leaders charge. Like she does everything that you would want to do. She has AoE spells. Like she does everything.
She summons recruits if you don't have any. She takes the recruits that come back. Like, she does so well, and her cards complement. Like here's the thing: some of these leaders are on here are kind of low sometimes because their recruit cards suck. Their recruit cards suck, right? Or they're like cards that you want to use against them. They kind of bad. All of her cards that you use with them are good. Amethyst, good. The Helmet of Fate, insane card, by the way.
So
Underrated.
good. It's so
Underrated.
good.
Yeah, it's really. Yeah. Zatanna is an S tier. I think everyone. I've been saying this since closed beta. As long as I've been streaming this game, I've always said that Zatanna is slept on. Y'all are sleeping on a mattress for a mattress on this character. You're in that memory foam. This is the best. This is like, if people were playing Zatanna more, I would be scared. And people are playing her with Tyranny, and like, if you play her with like Aquaman or like Wonder Woman or like Batman, play her with anything, with any character. It does not matter. You could play her with Shazam if you want to. She's still winning. You know why? Because her spells are insane. Her win cons, multiple win cons, because she does have just one. She has a multiple. Is insane. Aura is so hard to deal with. Aura is so hard to deal with. John Constantine is a what, 4/4 that buffs instantly?
Yeah, he's a 4/4 that buffs every one of your recruits on the field every time you play a spell. And gives you aura. Every recruit aura.
Dude, I think I said this one time before. I said I think Zatanna is gonna get nerfed. Eventually, I think, and I still believe that there has to be a nerf to this card. And she got buffed in the patch notes, and I said, guys, y'all ain't ready. I think this is it for the list. I think I quite like it. I don't think there's anything I would necessarily change per se. I'm quite happy with this. Even with Batgirl's placement, that's like, it sticks out like a sore thumb kind of. But I think Batgirl is insanely underrated. But I think that's gonna be it for the tier list.